Bhumika tells the life story of an actress, Usha, Smita Patil, who is the granddaughter of a famous female singer of the old tradition from the Devadasi community of Goa. Usha's mother, Sulabha Deshpande, is married to an abusive and alcoholic man. Following his early death, and over her mother's objections, Usha is taken to Bombay by family hanger-on Keshav Dalvi, Amol Palekar, to audition successfully as a singer in a Bombay studio. The first step in a process, watched approvingly by Usha's doting grandmother and with horror by her mother, that will eventually carry her to on-camera adolescent stardom, and to an ill-starred love marriage with Keshav. Usha's motives for stubbornly pursuing this relationship, culminating in a premarital pregnancy with the unattractive and much older Keshav, who appears to have lust after her since childhood, are not spelled out. Presumably, she either feels indebted to him for his loyalty to her family, of which he frequently reminds her, and for her own worldly success, or simply views him as a means to escape her abusive home. She is also a headstrong girl who clearly enjoys her acting career and is bent on challenging her uptight mother, who opposes the match because Keshav does not belong to their caste, just as she opposes cinema itself because of its presumed disreputability. Udharan Chinna. Once the two are wed, Usha is shocked to find Keshav continuing to act as her business manager, arranging starring roles for her opposite heartthrob Rajan Anantnag, who is himself in unrequited love with her. Since Keshav's own business is unsuccessful, the family remains entirely dependent on Usha's earnings, a fact that Keshav clearly resents. He thus becomes both a jealous husband with a fragile ego and nasty temper, as well as, in effect, a greedy pimp who compels his wife to take risque work despite her dislike of her co-star and her protests that she only wants to be a housewife now that their daughter has been born. Not surprisingly, the relationship becomes increasingly poisoned, particularly by Keshav's suspicion, fed by Star magazine gossip, that she is having an affair with Rajan, which is partly true. Verbally and physically abused by her husband and periodically obliged to live in a hotel, separated from her daughter and mother, the desperately unhappy actress eventually instigates two unsatisfying liaisons with the nihilistic and self-centered director Sunil Verma, Nasiruddin Shah, with whom she plots a double suicide, which he foils, and then with the wealthy businessman Vinayak Kale, Amrish Puri, who keeps her as a pampered mistress on his palatial estate. Here Usha briefly finds a kind of respectability as a de facto second wife, earning a measure of love and admiration from Kale's mother, Deena Pathak, son, and bedridden first wife. But, as she learns one day when she tries to take the boy to a nearby fair, at the cost of even the most rudimentary freedom, unable to abide by Kale's feudal patriarchal rules, she finds her only hope of escape in the intervention of her still legitimate husband, the hated Keshav, who promptly brings her back to a Bombay festooned with billboards of her own face, and to the same drab hotel and lonely prospects. As Kale's bitter wife remarks to Usha as the latter prepares to leave, the beds change, the kitchens change, men's masks change, but men don't change. Usha's daughter, now grown up, invites Usha to live with her and her husband, but Usha refuses. The movie ends with Usha alone in her hotel room, receiving a phone call from Rajan. Udharan. Udharan. Ek. Udharan.